Welcome back to Law Factor Live. We're talking about the issues that concerns you, issues that you feel are problematic, things that worry you, and we've asked you this week to send in your questions and we're going to deal with them more or less straight away. But first of all, I want you to know a little bit about my guest tonight so you can see where they're coming from. So Leah, perhaps if you can just tell us a little about yourself, please.
Well, know my name by now, Leah, and I work with Ministry of Legal Affairs, the ministry that seems to have a lot of issues these days, and you know, but we're working hard at it. My PS told me make sure I say that we're working very hard, and you'll start
Maybe
seeing
your PS
changes.
will come on the set one day to show us.
You'll start seeing changes pretty soon. It's already happening. We are working very hard to, you know, fix up all those loopholes and so on. And I work in accounts at Ministry of Legal Affairs, and what else can I say?
You're very opinionated.
Yes, it's black, I say it's black, and some people may not like you when you say that, but that's how I am. Here, at work, at home, wherever I am, you know, I don't change. That's me.
Okay.
That's about it. I do a little bit of radio.
You're modest. Tell us where we can get you, what time.
Oh yeah, I'm on Reason 102.5. It's a gospel radio station, really, and I'm there on a Saturday from 1.
Okay, great. So make sure we listen in to you.
Yes, I play the best in gospel music.
Okay, so she's modest. She didn't want to say. Oh, by the
Yes,
way.
Yes, very modest.
Yes.
Yes,
Bevelyn, tell us a little about you.
Right. I'm Bevelyn John, and I think persons have seen me before. I'm a social worker by profession. I'm also a therapist. I'm currently working at St. Jude's Hospital, and I've been in the profession for more years than I'd like to say, but a very long time. I've been in St. Lucia 8 years, and before working at St. Jude's, I worked at the Division of Human Services, and I'm also been very instrumental in working very closely with the Viewfort Children's Society, which I spoke about earlier, and been working very hard to ensure that we can build a home for abused children in Viewfort.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Bevelyn. Now, I'm just going to go straight into the questions because, as I said earlier, I know we have so many questions and people are waiting for the answers, and I want to make sure we go through as many as we can. I sent you some so that you can have a look at them. Out of the ones that I've sent you, perhaps you can read to us the one that most concern you, but there's still some of equal weighting. And I'm saying this because I don't want viewers to think, well, that was the most difficult one, I'm going to go away. Stay here, because you may know someone who's in a situation. You may even be in that situation yourself. All right, so stay with us. Bevelyn, tell us which one.
Well, can I read the question?
You can, yes.
Okay. This one really, I don't know the word got to me, but caught my attention. They all did, but some more than others, and they're all equally, what's the word, important as the other. But this one, it says, at times, I even wake up feeling like, and it says sigh, and when it said that, big sigh, what is the point of living? At times I try to ignore my issues and just go on with my life and try not to let things bother me. But maybe it's something I need to really sit and speak with a counselor about. To get my answers this morning, I woke up in tears, questioning God about those things that bother me so badly. It used to be so bad for me. At one point, I used to have suicidal thoughts, but for some reason, whenever I came to do it, my son's face came to my mind. I have a son who is just over 1 year old now, and I just try to think positive now. I try to live for him, and I always ask God to cover him for me and to prepare me for the situation that are yet to come. And that got to me because I recently, in the last year, there's been a spate of suicides across the country, and particularly in Viewfort. I think within 2 weeks we had about 3 or 4, and it ranges right across the spectrum from children. I think the youngest I can think of was a 9-year-old, to somebody in their 60s or 50s who had suicidal thought. And it really, when you think that, if someone thinks, how bad has life got to get for you to get to that point where you think there's no other answer but to end your life? And what we don't realize, the situation that we're in at the moment, it feels like, you know, whatever it is we have, we really feel that this is it, we cannot cope. But in 6 months' time, a year, 2 years' time, you look back and you think, wow, why did I react like that? It wasn't really that important after all. Yes, we feel pain and we have difficulties, and sometimes, yes, going to a counsellor is really helpful, especially when you get to that stage. And I'd recommend this person seeks counselling immediately for whatever it is that is bothering them. And if you feel you cannot afford counselling, then start to write it down. Write down what it is that you've gone through, write down the experiences, and then once you've written it down, the next day go back and look at it, and then write down what you'd like to do about it. And also maybe write all the positives in your lives. You know, she said she has a son, saying it's a she, it could be he, that his or her son is one thing that's keeping them going, living for this child. And just look at all the other positives in our life. Sometimes we just focus on the negatives. Sometimes we let other people's opinion put us down, and we listen to what persons say about us, what they say about our situation, what they've told us over the years. And you have to think, okay, is this really a fact, or is it opinion? Whose opinion is it? How important is it? In 6 months' time, how important is that opinion going to be? You know, if it's not a fact, and you know, how will it affect your life? Will it affect your son's life? Will it stop you from doing what you want to do in life? Or is it something that somebody just has some very negative attitude and will continue want to put you down? And if that's, you know, and they're there,
yeah,
they do
yes,
that.
and you know what, we could talk practically all night on this one subject.
Yes, we
but
could.
because there's so many other things I want to
yes.
give it some other questions, and I actually want Leah, her first thoughts when we hear this is a short one. Someone's asking, why do I keep on loving someone who shows no care, and I keep on going back to him as soon as he calls? Why can't I let go of that person although he causes me pain?
Boy, I've wondered at myself. I've wondered why myself. And I know persons who are in this kind of situation, and I usually ask them why. What is it? Sometimes they cannot explain. Sometimes they don't know. Some of them feel that the person has some kind of thing over them, which is not normal. But personally, I believe, well, I don't know, but I just believe it has to do with loving yourself. If you know what love's supposed to be within yourself, you know what love's supposed to be, you will not accept anything that is not what you perceive love to be. To me, somebody love you, they won't hurt you. To me, somebody love you, even if you have a fault, they will look past the fault and love you, right? For you, no abuse. Wouldn't want to. Well, that's one thing. Zero tolerance for me. Abuse is not part of it at all.
And there are all different forms of abuse.
All different forms, either verbally or.
Some people don't even realize they're being abused.
Yes, verbally especially. You know, someone was telling me, I met someone recently telling me how the guy called her all sorts of dirty names and so on. I said, and you were there. That is, you don't love yourself. If you love yourself, you don't allow anybody to disrespect you and still stay in it. I believe it has to do with your personal, you know, what you view yourself as, how you respect yourself.
Beverlyn, what would the counsellor say?
I think the counsellor would say is look within yourself, find the things that are good about you, and yes, person go back to relationship is often because they have low self-esteem, and they believe that to be happy, it has to come from outside. But happiness comes from within, and you have to make yourself happy. An external person will not make you happy. So going back to this relationship over and over again is only going to cause you more pain. So you have to find a way to make yourself happy and to be contented within your own skin.
Right, thank you very much for that, Bevelyn. To the break, we have 2 event passes, but you must answer all 4 questions. What year did the Health and Wellness Retreat start in St. Lucia? Name 3 experts participating in this year's Health and Wellness Retreat. What are the dates for the 2013 St. Lucia Health and Wellness Retreat? Name one of the event sponsors. Now, you must answer both of these questions for your chance to win one of 3 pairs of tickets to the T20 competition finals between Monrepo and Grosley. Just name the West Indies player who is currently on the Monrepo team and who is the main sponsor of the local T20 cricket competition currently being played here. Send your answers no later than 9:30 p.m. tonight. All right, so this is the Law Factor Live. When we come back, we're going to be answering some more of your questions, so stay with us.